Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Ranger. So in the last part, we essentially almost completed the entirety of the waterworks, and while we're on our mission capturing a bunch of Grimers, and we even got to find a whole lot more Pokemon along the way too. And now, with these, once you're done getting these Grimers here, we're actually almost going to almost come full circle of the entire waterworks. We're actually going to almost reach back into the entrance, I'm sure, of this place. But now this guy says there's even a much more worse stench than that he's ever smelled before. Well, that's because of something that you're gonna see. And there's also the reason why you probably want to utilize that save machine back there. Yeah, and that's because... Wow! Muck! Yep, and if you look over here... Yep, that's right. It is, yeah, that's right. It is not just Grimers, but there's also a Muck, too. And now here's where I will say... Yeah, now we're essentially going to be in for our first proper actual boss fight in the game. Now, even though I previously said that Rhydon and Machoke are also considered as boss fights, but I'd say they're most likely not. It's because, well, as you probably heard, both of the fights against Rhydon and Machoke essentially utilize just utilize the regular capture music from before. But now, starting with this fight with the Muck here, you're actually going to hear different music, which will tell you that you are indeed going to be in for a tough fight. AKA a boss fight. And I will say, now, if you haven't practiced on Grimers yet, then I would say you're definitely going to be in for a tough fight. Considering that, while Muck essentially works exactly the same as the Grimers, where the Muck will, where not only the Muck will also leave that trail of sludge behind it, and he will also send out some of the poison sludge puddles. But the major difference with Muck here is that not only he will require more loops for you to be able to get, and he will also charge into your capture loop too. So essentially, just be very careful. Just be very careful about that. But essentially, now this Muck fight isn't too troubling. It's just make sure that you don't get yourself hit by the poison sludge or even the poison trail too much. But also, if you want to be able to get through this fight a lot more quicker, yeah, either utilize your partner's discharge, or even she utilize Drowsy. Yeah, considering that Drowsy can actually make the Grimer/Muck float, so then you don't have to worry about that poison trail for a while. So yeah, definitely utilize either one of those two if you want to be able to get through this fight a lot more. Yeah, if you want to get through this fight a lot more quicker. But anyways, here we have Arya again, which unfortunately she didn't exactly get to find any of the her Go Squad members down here. But however, you are going to see once we are done with this, Wait for it. There he is. Yep. Indeed, there was indeed a Goldeen squad member down here, which will heavily tell you that he is indeed responsible for all of those Grimers and the Amok to be swarmed within the waterworks. Yep. But anyways, we're back. Ugh, that Grimer reek. Never mind. It's nothing. You restored clean drinking water to the citizens of Falls City by yourself. You restored the city's whole lifeblood. Yeah, I suppose I did. Those captures you made would have challenged the veteran rangers. You've outdone yourself. You've outdone yourself again. Yeah, I suppose I did. I hereby certify you as Ranger Rank 4. Yes, indeed we shall be. And now that we are at Ranger Rank 4, we can now utilize the Poke Assist, and we can also utilize the ground Poke Assist. Ditto. Now that you are a Rank 4 Ranger, there's something I should tell you. Now, you are permitted to add one more friend Pokemon to your party when you reach ranks 4, 7, and 10. Yep. Actually, all stars have the capacity to allow up to 7 friend Pokemon in your party. But, however, novices can't make full use of party Pokemon if there are too many. That's why we cap the Styler. Yeah, aka 2 things that they actually have to cap on. Jeez. Allow me to remove the first cap on your Star's partner capacity. Ditto, you are now authorized to be accompanied by up to 5 friend Pokemon in addition to your partner. Yep, we surely can now. Huzzah. And now we can have even more Pokemon with us. Oh, and now we got a text message. And it is indeed from Spenser again. I've got unconfirmed reports that the Goldeen squad has resumed activities in Summerland. Ditto, if you're not on an active mission, head for Summerland. This isn't a mission. I want you to gather intelligence on the Goldeen squad with your own eyes and ears. All right then. Now even Summerland is friend by the Goldeen squad. I would like you to go there immediately, but there's a major problem. For some unknown reason, the ferry to Summerland hasn't been running. If you took the Dragonite bus, you would be in Summerland instantly. But you can't use it at your ranger and your ranger rank. Now, what to do? Now, what is exactly you want us to do? Oh, that's right. How about asking the Lapras Guy, who is always in the harbor? If you explain your situation, he may be willing to let you ride the Lapras. He's quite a reasonable and generous person. It's worth a try. All right, yeah, I suppose you could definitely say it is worth a try. But anyways, yeah. But anyway, for everyone, now we're gonna be heading off to the. Now we're gonna be heading to the third area, to the third main area in the game, Summerland. Now, Summerland itself really isn't all that big. Yeah, it's not exactly as big as Falls City. Yeah, it essentially just has a few houses and all that. And you know what? And considering that we haven't such a chance to talk to you ever since we helped your skitties. Yeah, let's see what she has to say. they have different temperaments, and they all look different too. Oh, you couldn't tell? Maybe. Our skitties has stopped running away from us. Did you say something to them when you captured them? I think it's more so your wife essentially told them to keep in line. Yeah, considering that we saw them literally walk in line. But anyways, now as soon as we head ourselves over to the harbor where the Lapras Guy is. Yep. Now we have some Krabbys. To deal with. I accidentally stepped on Krabbys' foot. It got furious. It and its body got so mad. They went after my Lapras. Yeah, maybe they picked the wrong enemy to target. Help me, Ranger! My Lapras needs your help. Yeah, we're gonna be doing it. That's the spirit, Ranger. Even your reply is cool. I don't think you really call that cool, but okay, sure. But anyways, Krabbys. Now, considering that we've already dealt with Krabbys before, then yeah, we really shouldn't have too much troubles with getting these two. Not much. Excuse me. Anyways, one more, and booyah. Like I said, if you already know how to catch Krabbys at this point, then getting these two really shouldn't be all that troubling. Are you okay, Lapras? I'm sorry I got us into that scary situation. Yeah, you should be sorry, bitch. Thanks, Ranger. Hey, you're my Lapras' savior. Oh, I also hate to seem ungrateful, but I'd like to return those Krabbys to the sea. It was my own carelessness that got us into this mess. Those Krabbys aren't to blame. Yeah, considering that you literally stepped on one. Jeez, we owe you huge. If there's anything I or my Lapras can do for you, don't be shy to say it. Well, there was clearly something that we want to say. What's that? You want to go to Summerland? That's all you want from us? Ride my Lapras, and you'll get there, in no time. There's no need for any boat, or for you to swim. Well, like we're gonna be swimming anyway. Lapras, don't let me down. And with this, yeah, now Lapras, now you essentially will have connected Lapras on an emotional level, and will have Lapras automatically registered on your browser. Yeah, meaning that this is actually one of the few Pokemon that you can essentially have registered in your browser without even need to capture them at all. So, but anyways, now that we've got Lapras emotionally connected, now we're gonna hop on it so that we can officially hand ourselves over to Summerland. Now, starting things off, before we really start exploring the city, now, when we met the MC guys, you know, back at not only Ringtown and also Fall City, yeah, I said that we couldn't exactly do their challenges right away, but however, with this MC guide here, you can actually you can actually do his challenge now, which is something that you're gonna have to do anyway. Welcome, I'm MC Fisher. May I interest you in our capture challenge? Ride a Lapras and capture away. If you have friend Pokemon with you, there's no using Poke Assists. Would you like to take the challenge? Yeah, like I said, we're essentially gonna have to anyway. So yeah, definitely say yes, considering that there's definitely gonna be a bunch of Pokemon that we can find here. Now, may I explain how the rules work? Is that agreeable to you? Yeah, you may as well explain it once. Allow me to explain. Though it's all quite simple, really. Find sea-dwelling Pokemon and capture them, and capture them is free. The captured Pokemon give you set amounts of points, and you tally them all up in the end. The top score wins. That's how the capture challenge works. To cut a long-winded story short, aim for the record. There's 2 more points, but before you can begin. 1. Captured Pokemon are released on the spot. And 2. The challenge has a strict time limit of 3 minutes. Are we clear on this? Yeah, you basically said the basic rules at best. And now the important thing, if you want to retire from the challenge, please press start. Are you ready? Before you go, there's the usual announcement. The current record holder is Cameron with 3,500 points. Yeah, Cameron is a guy that we're actually going to be meeting later on. Yeah, but anyways, can this record ever be surpassed? Okay, challenger, boarded the Lapras. Capture, go! Now, what I'll say for this challenge as well as now, if you want to be able to get every single Pokemon from this place, you're actually gonna have to encounter them, like, instantly, because, yeah, considering that the majority of these water types are gonna be underwater, meaning that you're not gonna be able to see who they are until you actually get yourself into a battle with them. And also at times, when you're just about to get yourself to an encounter with them, they will also sometimes hide themselves underwater more. Yeah, meaning the shadow of them will be gone. Yeah, meaning that if you want to be able to get through this, meaning that you have to act really quickly if you want to be able to get the majority of these Pokemon. But anyways, everyone. Everyone. Now, I guess I should say this as well too. Now for the Pokemon that you can get almost immediately as soon as you start are Magikarp, Carvanha, Sharpedo, Goldeen, Staryu, and then there's Remoraid and Octillery. Now, and if you want to get several other Pokemon will have to be met by certain requirements. Now some of them will require for you to get a certain number of Pokemon before that special Pokemon actually shows up. And some of them will require for you to as for some of them, you're not going to be able to encounter them until like a post game or something else entirely. Now I guess I should say this right now is that now, since you do have at least 3 minutes in order for you to be able to get as many Pokemon as you possibly can, but however, there is a way that you can actually stop the timer for a while, just so you can actually get to relax. And it is actually that guy. Yeah. And it is actually that guy who is actually right near the lighthouse. Yeah. Now the marine biologist. Now, if you talk to this guy, not only he will stop your timer for a while, but also he can actually give you some very good information as to how you are able to find a certain Pokemon, like for what he's saying to you right here. Is that if you want to have yourself a chance of finding Whalmers, you need to encounter Seakings. 2 of them actually. You need to get 2 Seakings. But if you want to be able to encounter Seakings, you need to get at least 2 Goldeens. Yeah, that right there is for what I was talking about when it comes to meeting certain requirements in order for you to be able to get Pokemon to show up. Now, since we have Staruse here, now there is another Pokemon that you can find. If you just so happen to get at least 2 Staruse. And I'm actually hoping that we do actually find it before we actually clear this challenge the first time. Because, yeah, I really do want to show that off at least. And trust me, it will definitely will be worth it. But anyways. Okay, now with that, that's the second. Now that's 2 Staruse caught, and there he is, Starmie! That's right, everyone. Now, if you just happen to get at least 2 Staruse, then Starmies will appear. And now there is another Pokemon that you can find here. If you just happen to not only get a free Starmies, but however, I'm not gonna be able to go for this Pokemon now, considering that we are just about to run out of time. So unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to do it. But oh yeah, and I guess I should explain this as well. Now, even after your timer reaches 0, now you can actually still go through the battle that you are currently in until the battle battle is done. And also, I guess I should also explain this as well too. Is that if you just happen to get hit. If you just happen to lose all of your HP, then the challenge itself will be over already. So yeah, definitely keep your HP in mind too. But anyways, with that said, yeah, now we have cleared the high score for the MC Fisher challenge. And so, until next part, I'll see you guys next time.